Hey, so if you're still dragging and dropping bubbles in Zapier, N8N, or Make.com and running your business that way, you're still playing the game somewhat on hard mode because over the last year, we basically graduated from those basic builders. Probably the late half of 2025, we started using N8N. We started transitioning from N8N to something like Cloud Code to execute scripts directly in the terminal. We even got like voice to text features like the Whisper Flow library that everybody is using to just speak to the terminal, and Cloud Code will do what they want. And right now, even that setup has become outdated. We have officially entered the era of agentic workflows, AI agentic workflows, where you essentially build system through prompting that AI doesn't just blindly follow. It'll research the web, it'll research its own knowledge, and it'll produce step-by-step rules to actually understand your end goal, produce an implementation plan, and basically plan its entire route, execute the tasks, and then get you there. So today I'm just going to show you my IDE setup, my anti-gravity IDE setup that I'm using to run my own agency with agentic workflows. So what you see here is basically my entire automation stack boils down to just this IDE. This is the anti-gravity IDE from Google. What I'm doing right here is essentially making sure that all of my stuff, my agency stuff, my agency is Thriving Arc, my agency stuff, my client stuff, all of that is in a single workspace, contain all of the documents, workflows, messages, all of the communication docs, everything, every single asset. So since we're running ads for clients, we have ads, we have the ad copy, we have the landing pages, we have the landing page copy, we have all of the VSLs. So basically, it will be what we are doing now is we're not using desktop folders or Google Drive folders or any project management software to just contain all of the folders of client document, agency document, communication docs, and so on. We still use those software, so we still use Google Drive to share stuff. We still use ClickUp for project management, but internally inside my agency, I'm basically just using anti-gravity to perform like everything from A to Z. So I'll show you this workspace. Let's just go over this workspace in this video first. Let's keep this video part one of my entire workflow. So, okay, I have to restart to update, but yeah, this is this left side. You can use Command B or Control B if you're on Windows to just toggle this. This is your Finder workflow. Basically, if you are storing anything, your agent will essentially over time with you prompting what your goals are, will start building certain SOPs, certain workflows if you need that, certain Python scripts or any other language scripts it wants. It has access to your computer that way, and it can execute stuff that you do not need to access any external tools with. So you do not need to go to, for example, yesterday I was doing some lead gen with cold email, and before I would have to go to clay.com, enrich my all of the rows of emails, all of the phone numbers from clay.com, pay it, I don't know, like $300 just for 5,000 rows of emails. Now I can just provide my workflow an OpenAI key, API key, and construct a workflow that will automatically do all of that enrichment for me just right here in the terminal, in this IDE. So it's very convenient, and if I show you my workflow, this is the agent manager, this button here or this button. So if I click this, you'll see that this is your prompting setup. This is where you'll be writing your prompts or speaking your prompts. It's in planning mode or fast mode. I always use planning mode because it's just better, and it will actually think for a certain time and produce a list of things a list of implementation steps that will perform in order to do what you want it to do. You have several models to choose from. We got 3.1 Pro just yesterday. You can also use Claude. It's very convenient not having to switch models, being able to switch models so easily. Here you'll see what other jobs that I've done before. So this is like AI company name normalization, I told you, and protecting qualified meeting, constructing high ticket offers, so on. So yeah, this is extremely easy, and this is like anytime you open a a document, it'll show up here. Let me show you what it looks like with my client. So you'll see this is my client folder, this is my agency folder. Ignore this message directory for now, but yeah, literally what I'm doing right here is lead gen. Lead gen is getting clients from my own agency. This is a separate folder that will contain all of the scripts, all of the cold email or ads, whatever I'm doing, for basically running my entire cold email infrastructure right here with the help of APIs. And I can scrape leads through any source like Apollo, Apify, using APIs from different sources. I can also drop CSVs I've scraped from elsewhere, so CSV files of name, email, and so on. I can drop in my ad creatives, or I can drop in my ad ideas, and it will just generate those creatives right here in this IDE, so I don't need to go anywhere else for that. I have some scripts. Scripts are basically Python scripts, and SOPs are basically starting agency work or starting client work, whatever jobs that you need to do in step by step. You'll essentially outline it here so that all of the steps are neatly defined. I'll show you one document. So this is like a small SOP of how to conduct a client audit. This is in Markdown. You'll see the best thing about using Markdown is that like literally any software in this world can use it, and it's very easy to type as well. But I'll show you the preview version. So if you see this button here, this is the preview to the site. This is very easy for previewing Markdown docs. If you want to read it in a way that's more readable, just close this one and you can still read this. So this is how I'm performing client audit. This is the first deliverable for every new engagement. Goal is to identify every current bottleneck across clients' marketing and sales pipeline, from ads, landing pages to sales processes. So yeah, like you can drop your ads, you can drop your landing pages, both HTML versions and ad copy, and any assets that you have like images and video. You can drop your sales recordings easily. Like you can literally drop your MP3 or MP4 recordings, and it will generate transcripts. It will analyze those transcripts, and it will perform all of that strategic analysis like a B2B expert, and do it before any strategy or implementation work begins. So output will be a single comprehensive Markdown document placed in this folder, client current setup, client audit. So it will be under the clients folder that serves as the foundation for all subsequent execution processes. Estimated time is 2 to 4 hours. Like pre-audit folder setup, you construct your folder setup, client for client, what's your execution plan, what's your miscellaneous documents. You collect all assets from the client. For example, onboarding responses, active ad creatives, if they were working with some other agency or if they were running ads on their own before, you'll conduct a thorough audit of all of the ad copy, all of the sales call recordings, all of the landing pages, all of the CRM data. You need access to that if you want to optimize anything at all. So you need email sequences, you need contracts and agreements. This is what you signed with your client, or what they were expecting, and all of the verbal agreements and anything else that you want the AI to know when they are actually performing this audit or doing any step. Literally as much information as you give the AI, the better it will be at doing its job. Step 3 will be convert all assets to plain text readable formats, because we are not trying to complicate anything. Reading PDFs is always quite a pain, and so you'll see that we had docx format to txt, text format, PDFs to txt, CSVs do not need conversions because CSVs are easily readable, and PNGs and GPGs, JPEGs, images are not really needed. Store converted files, and then start the audit. So audit execution is basically the 10-step process that I've literally outlined this in like an hour, and all of that audit happened with the help of AI in like less than 2 hours. What they sell to trigger events, what prospects try for objections, success stories, guarantee, current numbers, their dream outcome, their current ad spend, how many emails they are sending if they're doing cold email, analyze ad creatives, then you analyze the ad copy, strategy document, then you analyze sales calls, then you collect all of the performance data from CRMs. If you have access to that, you should have access to that. And finally, you audit your writing, structuring the output. How do you structure the output properly? And you audit the categories, use all that applies. So basically, you need to, in this audit, you are organizing all of the bottlenecks to communicate to the client and say, this is what you'll be doing first before you go to building any sort of lead gen system for them. So bottleneck format will be like this. Priority matrix level, P0, P1. This is basically P0 is the highest priority thing to fix. P3 is the lowest priority thing to fix. So we typically start from P0 and continue onwards, start fixing bottlenecks one by one. This is the post-audit delivery and next steps, and then step 12, deliver to client. This is literally how every SOP can be built by you. If you have a series of steps you have in your agency or in your software company or anything else, you can write those down on a markdown sheet, and slowly go through them one by one. So if you start with the audit itself, you'll start with the audit, you'll construct the audit, and then you'll move on to the next step. And by the time you do that, you'll have an SOP, you'll have some scripts to perform, to let the AI do stuff, and you do not need to know what these scripts do at all, because AI is literally like pasting all of the context that you ran it, that it ran the script for first, and literally you don't need to understand any of the code. I understand it because I do this stuff, but this is extremely easy, and your scripts will be contained here. For example, if you're running cold email, I can show you my cold email workspace. So this is the when folder. This is if you're a normal person, you don't even need to know about this. This is basically the AI executing certain Python scripts in a virtual environment, in a contained environment inside this folder. You have your data. So for example, I had certain steps within my data that I needed to do. For example, if I scrape like raw data, then I'll have to clean certain rows, certain columns. Then I'll need to verify them through a software like Million Verifier or I don't know, Trikit. Once you have the verified data, you'll need to construct the emails which are either valid or valid risky, depending on if you want to run the risky emails as well for the campaign. Then you'll need to basically get all of that data campaign ready. I also have one other step, which is normalizing my company names. So company names, for example, Bloomberg Inc. So you'll remove the Inc. and just use Bloomberg. That's the way people actually refer to their own company in conversations. So in cold email, you want to seem as friendly and as much as a colleague as possible, so that you lower their guard and make sure that they open their email and not immediately click spam. So yeah, like you have verified data, verified sample format. Sample format, essentially, if your verification software needs a certain format to verify your emails first, valid and risky for campaign, raw from Apollo, raw data for verification, and so on. These are the scripts that the AI constructed by itself. Clean raw data, prepare for verification, process verified data, process valid and risky emails, normalize company names, and that's how you get the clean data. Script, you have the getting you have the complete cold email data pipeline. This is like a SOP for cold email lead gen. You can construct your own SOP just by directing the AI to do this. So yeah, this is how my current stack looks. All of the APIs, all of the software that I'm using, I can essentially integrate it all inside this particular IDE. Make sure that AI knows that I have my secrets like API keys, and I can point AI to all of the documentation online. So if you want to use, for example, the Smart Lead or Instantly API to automatically construct cold email campaigns inside your Instantly account, you can literally just give your Instantly API key to the AI, point it to this particular documentation, or you don't even need to do that, and it will automatically just create scripts and create SOPs if you want, to make sure that these certain processes are followed when constructing your cold email sequences. So it's pretty easy, and hopefully this was useful for you. I just wanted to start this mini series of videos in which I show you my agentic workflows and what I'm actually using at my agency. And yeah, I have 2 clients right now, and both of them have their own folders and all their own assets placed there, and all of the work that we do there are contained in their own folders. So it's a very organized system that I'm using now, and I like it. I love it. And yeah, if you have any questions, please feel free to comment them. And if you want us to come into your company and build you a complete lead gen system from scratch, depending on what you do, if you want to do cold email or ads, we'll decide if you want whatever suits you, and we'll build your entire funnel that way. So yeah, click the first link in the description if you want us to build it for you. And if you have any more ideas for videos and what else you want to see in my agentic workflow, then please comment, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.